Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. After his comments on Prime Minister Modi in Parliament over the Adani issue, Rahul Gandhi is now in a soup for his recent speeches in the UK. BJP has launched a scathing attack on the Congress leader as the budget session of the Parliament resumed. Remember, Prime Minister Modi himself has called out Rahul Gandhi at a rally in poll-bound Karnataka earlier, saying that some people are attacking Indian democracy on foreign soil and trying to hurt India's democratic roots. Today, Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, Piyush Goyal tore into the Congress and Rahul Gandhi in both houses of Parliament. Even Rajya Sabha chairman, for example, Jagdeep Dhankar, took umbrage at Rahul's comments, saying that he has never stopped anyone from speaking in the House. Remember, Rahul Gandhi, while speaking at British Parliament last week, had claimed that opposition leaders' mics are switched off in Indian Parliament. BJP is seeking an apology from the Gandhi scion, but there is also a privilege motion against Rahul for his previous comments against the Prime Minister, which were expunged from records. Congress, of course, has backed their leader. Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge took out a protest march from Parliament House to Vijay Chowk along with MPs of other opposition parties, hitting out at the BJP for destroying democracy in India. So did Rahul Gandhi truly cross a line by asking foreign powers to intervene in India because he believes there's no democracy left in the country? Is it breach of your oath as a parliamentarian and therefore deserving of action? Or is the government and the BJP overreacting on this issue? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. First, here is what more happened today. As soon as the proceedings started in Lok Sabha, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh stood up and slammed Rahul Gandhi. He said Rahul tried to defame India on foreign soil. He accused Congress leader of seeking foreign intervention in India's affairs. Defence Minister said Rahul Gandhi should be asked to apologise before the House, and he also demanded that Rahul's remarks should be condemned by one and all, by all members of the House. Here's a reminder of some of Rahul Gandhi's statements overseas a few weeks back that have created a storm in India. He has said, for example, structures of Indian democracy are under brutal attack. But most important was this statement: US and Europe not doing enough to restore democracy in India or to recognize that democracy in India has come undone. He also added, for example, India's democratic institutions are under attack by the RSS and the BJP. Political arguments aside, of course, the biggest issue was Rahul Gandhi saying that there is no democracy in India and that foreign powers should do something about it. Meanwhile, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey wants Rahul Gandhi ousted from Lok Sabha over his speech on Prime Minister Modi during a discussion on the motion of thanks for the President's address earlier. Dubey moved privilege notice against Rahul Gandhi and accused him of being a habitual offender. Dubey in his motion claimed that Rahul Gandhi made misleading, derogatory and unparliamentary remarks against the Prime Minister. The Jharkhand MP presented his case saying an MP may make a comment on a fellow parliamentarian only with prior notice and not without the Speaker's approval. Dubey said casting doubt on the Prime Minister's actions undermines democracy itself. He affirmed that Rahul Gandhi's speech is still available on the latter's Twitter and YouTube handles despite being expunged from the Parliament records. He said that this undermines the Speaker's authority and discretion. The big question and the big debate that's coming up today, as far as the aftermath of Rahul's UK speeches are concerned, the entire democracy debate in India, is the government right in criticizing him in Parliament?
दुर्भाग्य है कि लंदन में ही भारत के लोकतंत्र पर सवाल उठाने का काम किया गया।
राहुल गांधी ने लंदन में जाकर भारत को बदनाम करने की कोशिश की है कि आपके द्वारा निर्देश दिया जाना चाहिए कि संसद के फोरम पर आकर वह क्षमा याचना करें अध्यक्ष महोदय। सदन का सदस्य नहीं,
गरिमा को दिलाने का काम विदेशी धरती पर करना बंद करें। उन्होंने आके यहाँ पे माफी मांगना चाहिए।
And leader of the house himself raised the issue of Rahul Gandhi. So it is their mistake, not ours. He is not a house member of our house. How can he apologize to Rajya Sabha?
Going across to the guest joining us now, RP Singh, BJP spokesperson, Advocate Arshpreet Karyal from the Congress Party, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, a senior fellow, Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies. He was on a show with me earlier where he did say categorically that Rahul Gandhi has breached his oaths as a parliamentarian by saying what he did, especially with regards to US and EU intervention in India. And that's really the comment that has become the bone of contention. Rashid Kidwai, author and senior journalist, someone who tracks Congress Party very closely, also joining us. I do thank you all for your time. Arshpreet, I'm coming to you first up. I think you were also there on that debate with us the day that we discussed the foreign intervention comment. There are obviously clear rules, not just for an average citizen, but specifically if you are a parliamentarian. And Rahul Gandhi, as a multiple-time MP, undermined the very process that sends him to parliament. Don't you think that this particular statement, that there is no democracy in India and EU and US should do something, this is something that Rahul Gandhi is being deservedly criticized for, and it will be good for the MP, the parliamentarian, to retract these statements?
Well, before we retract these statements, I think Mr. Modi should retract his. In 2015, on Chinese soil, Mr. Modi said that earlier people used to feel ashamed of being born in India. My question to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson is, do you agree with that statement? Were you ashamed of being born in India? Number two, we condemn this another statement given by the Bharatiya Janata Party on foreign soil that nothing has been done in the last 60 to 70 years. Were they not demeaning and disregarding our cultures, our traditions, our civilians, our citizens? And, another thing is that the Bharatiya Janata Party, let alone cutting a sorry figure, has basically been showing double standards. They can say anything and everything that they want, but I want to clarify one thing once and for all. Criticism of the government is not the criticism of India. The Bharatiya Janata Party is doing away with the democracy because they clearly do not have any place for dissent left. Nobody can have a difference in opinion. If they do, there will be an IT, ED, CBI, SEBI case registered against them. Talk of all the opposition parties in India. There is no opposition party in India that does not have these cases pending against them.
Before we digress, Arshpreet, before we digress, I want to come in just as a follow-up question. You're right that the Prime Minister did make some of those statements, and the Congress Party is very well within its right, not just as an opposition party, but just generally, anyone has the right to say that those were not comments in good taste, because, we cannot brush aside 60, 70 years of our existence and post-colonial independence like that. I get you as far as that is concerned. But is that objectively the same as saying that there is no democracy in India today and that US and EU should intervene? Two very qualitatively different statements.
I would beg to differ. One, it was given by our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. You can imagine the magnitude and the gravity of that statement and the repercussions it would have. The world looks forward and looks up to India, the world's largest democracy. And imagine this message that he sent to all the other countries when he gave the statement. And no Bharatiya Janata Party's leader condemned it. Number two, we happen to be the world's largest democracy. If democracy in India collapses, it would have repercussions not just within the borders, outside the borders as well. And, it would deliver a fatal blow to all the other democracies in the world. Therefore, they deserve to know what's happening in India, because our statements in India either get expunged in the parliament, or our mics get muted, or we get cases registered against us. However, when we demand a case on Adani issue, for the reports that came forward, for everything that happened, there was no ITED, CBI case pending, registered against Mr. Adani. And another ajube ki baat is that there is not even a single Bharatiya Janata Party's leader who has a single ED case. 95% of
Okay, let's not get into that, because that's slightly different to what we're discussing. We discussed the agencies and the CBI and ED cases separately. But I want to bring in RP Singh at this stage. You're hearing what the Congress is saying. Once again, Arshpreet, can I go on to my other guest now? RP Singh, the Prime Minister has made certain comments that were not very nice, either to previous dispensations or to India as a country. So what right does the BJP have today of calling out Rahul Gandhi?
Shivani, thank you for calling me, and I'll appreciate my co-panelists will bear me as I have given them good time, and they have all their chance to speak what they wanted to speak. Did Prime Minister ever spoke about that there is no democracy in India? Did he ever said that Supreme Court is not functioning properly? Did he ever said that Parliament doesn't function? Did he ever said that media is not free? Are you not free? You are asking questions to me. You are asking questions to the Congress spokesperson. You will ask questions to others also. Is media not free in the country? So raising question also raising question on army. I mean, you say the land has been occupied by China, whereas the army general is on record saying that not an inch of land has been occupied by China. But you don't believe in the army also. You don't believe in judiciary also, because if judiciary gives decision as per you, it's good. If they don't give decision as per you, then it's wrong. If parliament function as per you, it's good. If it doesn't function as per you, or it function as per the protocol and norms, then it's wrong. But problem is the dentist can't change. That DNA of dentist doesn't change, and dentist thinks that whatever he says is right, it's his way or the highway. So that can't work in democracy. And also the biggest issue which I have, and I'm saying on record today, that he has created disharmony. He's tried to create disharmony in Cambridge. He pointed out, please rerun that. He pointed out to a 6th child saying that you are a second-class citizen in India. I take strong objection to that. You are saying that we are second-class citizen. Party which butchered 30,000 Sikhs in India is saying Sikhs are second-class citizen. What does he mean by saying so? And he says China is very harmonious country. He's comparing, China is a very harmonious country. So that's the problem. And again, I reiterate, how can you question democracy in a country? The party which brought in emergency in country, which implemented emergency in country, whose father brought in postal bill in 88, where every dark could have been checked by the police or by the government before it was delivered to you. That time there was no emails, but that time it should be the regular letters. So these are set of people who are talking about the freedom of press and freedom of expression in the country.
Okay, fair enough. But I do want to ask you, the general criticism of the government in power today is that you are very thin-skinned. You get really outraged when anybody says anything against you. You don't even want a foreign publication's documentary, for example, to be seen in India. But your leaders say everything that comes to their mind. It's not like you are, shielding, you are protecting citizens from the comments of your own leaders. They say everything they want to say.
Okay. Shivani, because since you have touched BBC, let me put it on record. Since the SIT report and the Supreme Court both have given clean check to the Prime Minister. After that, under some game plan, building a bigger ecosystem, the things were being planned to make the BBC documentary. BBC has not made a document in 1984. Have they made still the SIT report is still with the court, and the action taken report has to filed 14th of this month is the date in the court.
Okay, but that's not my question.
That the government has to file. No. Question is still. No, what I'm saying is that if you have to compare between the two. So what I'm saying is BBC have all the right to make film, but not on a subject which has already been decided by the Supreme Court. One. Secondly, coming to the core subject, we are not thin-skinned. Only issue is when you raise question on the Indian democracy, they day on day off they keep abusing the Prime Minister of the best of the curse words. When they use what they have not used against the Prime Minister, I feel ashamed to even utter a single word. But they use those words. But we have no issues on that.
Okay.
But when you go on a foreign land and talk about democracy, and party which brought emergency to country talks about democracy abroad.
Okay. I'll come to that issue one more time, and as I go to my other guests. I just want to quickly play out what Nishikant Dubey has said today. Now, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the show, he's the BJP parliamentarian who's actually wanting Rahul Gandhi to be ousted from Parliament as a Lok Sabha member. Let's just listen in on the grounds on which he has talked about it.
मैंने स्थगन प्रस्ताव दिया है लोकसभा स्पीकर साहब को रूल 56 के तहत कि सभी बिजनेस को स्टॉप करके राहुल गांधी पर डिस्कशन करें, क्योंकि राहुल गांधी ने जो है देश की गरिमा को आघात पहुंचाया है। ये यूरोप को बुलाने की बात कर रहा है, जैसे अंग्रेज को भारत छुड़वा दिया लेकिन फिर से अंग्रेजों को बुलाने की बात करता है, फिर से अमेरिका को लाने की बात करता है और कहता है लोकतंत्र खतरे पर है। स्पीकर को चैलेंज करता है कि मेरा माइक बंद कर देते हैं, क्योंकि माइक तो स्पीकर ही बंद करते हैं। और तीसरा, प्रधानमंत्री जी के ऊपर जिस तरह से अनर्गल बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं। और सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी को जब निकाला गया तो जो लीडर ऑफ द हाउस थे कमलापति त्रिपाठी 1976, उन्होंने कहा प्रधानमंत्री व्यक्ति नहीं होता है, प्रधानमंत्री देश होता है, भारत होता है। भारत के ऊपर आघात है, इसी कारण से निकाला गया। इन सारे चीजों में मैंने स्थगन प्रस्ताव कहा है और इसकी सदस्यता कैसे रद्द हो उसके लिए प्रयास किया।
I want to go across to Abhijit Iyer now. Abhijit, you were on the show when you said that you feel categorically that he has indeed breached his parliamentary oath. At least Nishikant Dubey is putting his money where his mouth is. He wants Rahul Gandhi to be ousted from Lok Sabha, although initially he had filed this after the comments made over the Adani issue. And now, of course, these comments have also come in. What do you think? Do you think Rahul Gandhi could be in trouble? Or is this just political shadow boxing? Frankly, nothing is going to really happen to Rahul Gandhi or his membership.
Look, let's be very clear, nothing's going to happen to Rahul Gandhi, because by this time next year, we'll anyway be heading to elections, number one. Number two, Rahul Gandhi is the biggest asset of the BJP. I don't think they've seen a higher yield investment than Rahul Gandhi's value to the BJP is greater than Adani's valuation over and above his earnings, right? There is not a single person that I've spoken to in the BJP that wants Mr. Rahul Gandhi to be evicted from Parliament or his parliamentary his parliament seat to get whatever. The thing is, will they go and do tamasha about it? Claiming all of this, of course, because that's what they always wanted. They wanted the sense of outrage of Rahul Gandhi calling for foreign intervention, peaceful or military, doesn't matter, of calling for foreign intervention in India. And, this comes back to, on one hand, the BJP played it very, they made a mistake, in my opinion, by saying you can't criticize your country abroad. You see, you can criticize your country abroad, as we've seen Modi himself has criticized a lot of things about India abroad. What you can't do abroad is call for foreign military intervention or even any other kind of political intervention. If you remember, throughout when Indira Gandhi was being harassed, and this question was asked to Rahul Gandhi during the IJA interaction he did in London. Indira Gandhi, throughout the time that she was being harangued and jailed and kicked out of Parliament by the Janata government in 1977, she did go to London after that, after her jailing and things. At no point of time did she call for foreign interference. At no point of time did she call for sanctions on India, and at no point of time did she call for any kind of intervention in India, right? And this is actually listed in Swaraj Paul. What that gentleman said is actually listed in Swaraj Paul's photobiography of Indira Gandhi, where her standard reply to every question was, I don't talk about Indian politics abroad, right? So what has changed here? Basically, the issue here is that you have an Indian leader who is so desperate to come to power that he's forgotten the rules of his own party, which was to get rid of foreign political intervention in India. We wanted to get them out of India. He goes to the irony of it all is he goes to the exact same colonial power and asks for foreign intervention, political or military, I don't know what was in his mind, in India, in Indian politics, because he can't accept the fact that he's lost 50 out of the 54 elections. He doesn't want to accept responsibility for it. And he wants to palm it off onto something else. Basically, the EVM was tampered with. India is becoming fascist. The mics are being turned off, whatever have you.
Actually, he even talked about mobilization, but that's also ironical because it's coming after his Bharat Jodo Yatra that traversed through the length of the country, and it happened absolutely fantastically. In fact, Congress claims that it has touched millions and millions of Indians. But the irony also, there are multiple ironies here. Before I go to Rashid Kidwai, Abhijit, you said that this is to come to power. But the irony is this doesn't help the Congress to come to power. This has the exact opposite effect in India.
So, Shivani, this is the whole point. This is why I think Rahul Gandhi should be the brand ambassador of a teleprompter company in India. Because, Rahul Gandhi is the clearest living explanation of why political leaders should always have teleprompters so that they don't make off-the-cuff remarks.
Okay.
So if you want to know why Modi uses a teleprompter, it's precisely to avoid goof-ups like this. Second, all that was gained, alleged or real, in the Bharat Jodo Yatra, he has squandered by this one trip to London. So, that one trip costing, say, a business class ticket of, say, 2-3 lakhs return, plus a hotel stay of about, say, 2-3 lakhs more. Just 4 lakhs of investment destroyed a few thousand crores worth of investment that went into the BJP's, into the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra Freudian slip.
Can I bring in Rashid Kidwai? Rashid Kidwai, why does the Congress keep doing this? It squandered what it gained after the Bharat Jodo Yatra. I mean, I don't understand the thought process behind Rahul Gandhi's foreign trips. Of course, nothing wrong with it. You can criticize the current government also. You can even criticize the country at some levels. But let's not forget, he's a parliamentarian. He's not an average political leader or an average thinker. He's a parliamentarian. For a parliamentarian to go and say overseas that actually the democracy that elected me and sent me to parliament doesn't exist, I don't understand.
Shivani, the entire discourse actually, amuses me. Amuses in the sense the context in which we keep debating this whole thing. If we are talking about democracy, in a nuanced way is also includes negation of democracy. People who do not go to vote, people who opt for nota, people who criticize the government. So they are not harmless. Somebody can argue they are useless, but they are also as much part of democratic process as anyone can be. The fact about this foreign soil and talking about all these things, I find it little problematic, not only in terms of technology, the kind of social media platform we have, but about the past. When Indira Gandhi had imposed emergency, the number of leaders of opposition had traveled abroad, particularly George Fernandez, and they had sought help and cooperation from Socialist International, France, even some would say CIA, etc. I also find it very ironical that the mention of Subramanian Swamy eviction is being made to justify an action against Rahul that Mr. Nishikant Dubey is making. That was time of emergency when the BJP Jansangh was critical of Indira Gandhi being equated with India, that India is Indira and Indira is India kind of rhetoric. So you see, in more realistic terms, Shivani, it takes two to tango. The idea of decorum, decency among political parties should be observed. If Prime Minister committed a wrong by traveling abroad and saying this, I don't think Rahul Gandhi is doing a great favor to his party or to the country by saying. But I think in a neutral way, he has as much right to criticize as anyone else. Just last point, Shivani. Politicians tend to make very, very sweeping remarks. So when we say there is no democracy, what perhaps he means is there is some kind of, there are issues that concern us. Similarly, as Prime Minister says, he's a leader of 140 crore Indians. Whereas if you dissect it, he would perhaps the kind of number of votes he got, the kind of support he has got is far less.
But today he is the leader of 140 crore people.
Precisely.
Today he is the Prime Minister of all 140 crore.
He's the Prime Minister, but we have first past the post system. So there are only 60-70 crore votes were cast, and in that if the BJP got some 30 crore votes or so. So that's what I'm saying. It's a sweeping statement. The generalization. Okay, fair enough.
But Rashid Kidwai, my fundamental...
As 130 crore people have been insulted. So that also you have to take a bag full of salt. The point, I'm not criticizing Mr. Modi. I am saying politicians have a habit of making sweeping statements.
Absolutely, fair enough. But the politicians also are very careful about perception. Secondly, they're careful about where they say what they say. So I come back to my fundamental question I was asking you, Rashid Kidwai. Isn't this hurting the Congress party instead of helping the Congress party? This may help Rahul Gandhi, I don't know, but his interests cannot be inimical to Congress party's interests. Many believe he has hurt the party just 1 year ahead of the general elections.
Perhaps yes, but I'm saying, Shivani, he has as much a right to express his point of view as Mr. Modi or Mr. RP Singh or my friend Abhijit or anyone else. The point here is, the cost analysis, we are generalizing, we are jumping. You see, there was election, and the election, of course, the BJP won handsomely in Gujarat, but we also need to remember a very small state that also had given a verdict in that is Himachal. We also had election in the Northeast. So, and everything cannot be settled by mandate, as everything cannot be settled by the court of law. I heard the argument. But there was a court, and court said that Rajiv Gandhi is not involved in Bofors. Would the BJP accept this position, that Rajiv Gandhi was not involved in Bofors?
No, Rashid Kidwai, you raise an interesting question. I just don't understand. If we do not go by public mandate, which is the elections, if we do not go by court verdicts, then what do we go by? Then what is left? How do we decide? I want to take, once again, I want to take final comments.
By dynasty.
I want to take final comments from our political representatives. Yes, RP Singh? Rahul Gandhi and Congress have made it clear they have nothing to apologize for.
Well, Shivani, I treat Rashid Saab a very scholarly person, but today he is off the cuff. And when he says George Fernandez Saab did what he did during emergency. I mean, he's trying to correlate the situation in emergency by today's situation. But that's how you speak when you speak with a specific shade or specific blinkered thinking of the subject. But coming to the issue of what is the issue? Issue is that dynasty can't accept the democracy. The democracy means the democracy should work according to them. I mean, if judiciary give decision as per them, democracy is good. If parliamentary functions as per them, is good. If ED, CBI don't rate them, or court don't give order to ED and CBI to inquire, then ED and CBI is good. So there's the problem.
This is desperation. Okay, can I just take final 30 seconds with Arshpreet as well?
Of the dynasty.
Okay, as some of our panelists are saying, Arshpreet, ultimately, a lot of people feel like, let's say I take what Rashid Kidwai is saying. These are overarching, sweeping, exaggerated comments, but that's something you can blame all politicians for. But fundamentally, this is desperation because the Congress party cannot come back to power. It is actually struggling to win even state elections.
Well, thank you. However, a very important question that I raised to the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson has not been answered. I request that it be answered. Does Mr. R.P. Singh agree with Mr. Modi's statement given on Chinese soil in 2015 that we used to feel ashamed of being born in India? Do you feel that?
Okay, he wants to respond. You want to let him respond? 10 seconds. He wants to respond. Yes, R.P. Singh.
He never said that. It was in context with others, and not in China. It was in context with others that people abroad used to feel that ashamed that their passport is not being recognized as much other countries' passport was. It was in that context. And yes, we say that things have changed abroad. People feel good now about their passport. Having Indian passport is a plus point, not a minus point.
Okay, but fundamentally, Arshpreet, your defense cannot be that Prime Minister did something wrong, so it's okay for Rahul Gandhi to do. Fundamentally, you have to be different than the BJP.
But he never has a question on democracy.
If that is their argument. One second, let Arshpreet respond.
Thank you. See, the Bharatiya Janata Party is saying that we never commented upon the democracy, that it's been destroyed. Well, you didn't have to. You've destroyed it. It's collapsed in India. I have given you history, patterns, clear-cut patterns of the Bharatiya Janata Party, whether it be Operation Lotuses or Mr. R.P. Singh said, when did we ever say that that there is no freedom of speech expression left for the media? Talk of BBC, talk of NDTV, talk of the Quint, talk of Alt News, talk of Dainik Bhaskar. All these media agencies, news channels have been subjected to IT, ED, CBI, SEBI raids.
Well, the reality is that media organizations have been subjected to government scrutiny, including the agencies, for all times. This hasn't happened since 2014. Abhijit, I'll give you final 30 seconds.
Why are we leaving ZTV out of this? ZTV is about as pro-government as you can get, and they have also been subjected to IT and ED raids. I think the argument here is that somehow, if you oppose the government, you should be free to do whatever illegality you want.
In the name of dissent.
The government is not a license for illegality.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us for our